It looks like small caps yesterday finally got a bid. We know they like lower interest rates, which doesn't look like it's happening. Lower interest rates are obviously worse for banks, but good for small caps. Um, I, and this rally has just been staggering in the last week.
Yeah.
How, I know you were. I think you were sitting in a lot of cash. Did you do anything when you started to see the bid, or just kind of sat back and watched? And I don't know, how are you looking at this big ramp? Is this a place you start thinking about shorting again, or where are you?
If I had to trade, I would sell or short rather than buy. Not to say you can't find an occasional laggard that has catch upside or is you know a, an arbitrage versus a peer group, and that was sort of the reason for one of my last two buys was the Intest trade, which there's sort of been big news on that, by the way. The CEO got fired last week. So he got fired after we doubled our money. But the problem wasn't that we doubled our money; it was that the stock was so cheap it could double, and the numbers were sort of really bad for 25 to try.
Irrespective of the CEO.
Yeah, exactly. The performance of the management team in 24 and 25 was, was good in 24, then fell off a cliff in 25 with the Trump tariffs. And the reason, sort of fell in love with the idea at 7 and 8 was that their peers had already doubled and tripled off the bottom, and they were still only $2 off of the bottom, and 30%. So there just seemed to be a natural catch upside to the space when the fundamentals that were filtering through to these guys, their competitors, filtered through to them, which is starting to happen now. It's the third time I've done it, and I've made money each time, and not just 50%, like 200% each time. So this will be the third time, and but I'll have to do it with the new CEO. So there's risk there that the CEO, doesn't get it. But I spoke with the outgoing CEO, and he handpicked this guy and has a lot of confidence in him. I think the outgoing CEO had a bit of a feud with the board on compensation and investment for growth and versus near term earnings. So he called the board out, and the board forced him out unwillingly. But I still think all the fundamentals are in play that got us in the stock in the first place. So I'm very comfortable owning the stock at 15 or 16 for one more X at least. So since my basis is 7.11, that would make a price target of around 22. So I'd have a triple. So that's what we're shooting
Was
for
he a
there.
big was he a big shareholder, Bob?
No, not really, because he
No.
was just he was not part of a founding group or any. They didn't have any founders equity, and they are not very generous with their options programs. So they have very little shareholder dilution. So on the
Okay.
on the idea of the third time's a charm for Intest, I would have to say the sixth time had better be a charm for Surrogon because I'm probably I'm
Six
probably
times at
pounding
bat on this one, huh? Okay.
I'm probably on my 6 pound table. I think my table has a crack in it, a fine crack.
Your
From
Saragon
pounding the
table for
table,
sure.
from pounding the table so often. Yes, but the way the stock is $2.35. It's not at the very low end of the range, which is around $2, and the high end of the range might be 260. So it's in the middle of its 52-week range, but the 20-year range is 2 to 6, and it's hit 5 or 6 a few times in 20 years. And I would hope that they would be able to earn their way back to $5 to $6 in a year or so. I had the way last year played out. There was a couple of big customers, particularly in India and one in the U.S. that delayed or deferred major spending programs. And this business is a lumpy business. Now, a lumpy business has two sides to it, right? You could lose business quickly. Big orders could be delayed, deferred, or you could also get them. And we spoke with a representative of the company yesterday, and it seems like there's more orders coming in, especially from North America and India, which were two of the areas that are their two largest revenue geographies. So that's very important. And they've had a lot of success getting interest in four new products. They announced at the world's biggest microwave and wireless trade show, Mobile World Congress, which was in Barcelona in January, I believe. So these guys are starting to see significant interest. There's the fact that their biggest competitor is a company called Nokia, and Nokia has put its microwave division up for sale. So that's not fun if you're a customer of Nokia, because you're very uncertain of who your vendor is going to be, right? It could,
Yeah.
Nokia could pull it back into the fold, but in my opinion, they won't, because it's such a challenging business relative to where they want to go into optical and data center and sexier areas. They don't want to deal with shitty microwave radio, low tech stuff. So then it's a matter of who's going to buy it. And there are not a lot of candidates to buy Nokia's business. So I believe Ceragon is trying to buy it, but they're trying to pay pennies on the dollar for revenue. And I don't know if they could afford anything more than a few pennies on the dollar. So we'll have to see if a transaction gets consummated. I don't believe Nokia has great IP, and I don't know what they get for it. They get the customer list, but I don't know how much of the product lines they even want.
Hi, I'm David Maris. If you like what you just heard, we've tracked every single pick we make on the show, every ticker, every thesis, every entry price, over 1,100 picks and counting. We put it together in a free report with our top 10 performers, the reasoning behind each one, and a preview of our full dashboard. If you want access, the link is in the description.